So last week I made a video calling out Luke Thomas. I had stumbled by one of his live streams and heard him call the movie Sound of Freedom a QAnon film. And we also heard him talk about Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya from a very biased opinion in my belief. With Luke Thomas, it's no surprise that his opinions come from the far left, the extreme left. That's fine, you're entitled to your opinions. You're just not entitled to shut down everyone else's opinion. I shared a video with Jesse on Fire, who subsequently shot his own video which did huge numbers, calling out the lunacy from Luke Thomas and Ariel Helwani. And where we have found ourselves today is that Luke Thomas responded to Jesse on Fire during a live stream last night, and I believe he does reference myself as well, because he talks about the beard and he talks about somebody using his content and that he's so nice and so egalitarian that he doesn't hit them with a copyright strike through YouTube. Thanks very much for that, but going forward I'm going to have to be careful using your live streams to call you out. And I don't think anyone else has used his live streams the way I did, so I guess he's talking about me. Maybe not, maybe I'm wrong, but no matter what, this has to be called out for what he said last night anyway.
I cannot believe these fucking mongrels think that we are peers. Like, oh my.
So somebody asks him, what's your thoughts on Jesse on Fire's video on you?
There are a few of these guys of this type where, first of all, they have titles. They don't use their real names. I can think of 3 of them, but there's some other ones as well. You know, and of course, some of the largest creators do that as well. But I just sort of mean like they're up front telling you that they're not interested in being sort of seen as serious people.
We're going to kick it off from there. Like, they're not interested in being serious people if you don't use your name in the title. Okay, fair enough. There's a bunch of different YouTubers that do this thing. They're successful, but you're not a serious person. So what does it take to be a serious person in the eyes of the great Luke Thomas? It would probably entail bending the knee for Black Lives Matter, taking some strange chemical substance into your bloodstream that hasn't been tested properly. It would probably entail bowing at the feet of Joe Biden whilst he smells and touches people inappropriately that are underage, and it will probably entail some climate activism and a lot more other talking points that are all like harboring inside the echo chamber of Twitter where this lunatic exists.
But the bigger point is this: it's like there's a certain like version of just internet loser that appears to be very concerned with what I have to say about things.
So basically, these internet losers are obsessed and concerned with what you have to say. You are an MMA journalist who has a massive voice. Are we not allowed to push back on your opinion? Are we not allowed to have our own opinion on what you say? You've got the town square. You've got the loud voice, as you point out over and over again in this video. You also talk about how you're not concerned about what people think about you, but clearly we can see you seething inside. You're burning up.
And I need them to understand something, and I'm honestly not even trying to be mean. I don't care about you, any of you. Like,
he doesn't care about you. Fine, fair enough. If he's talking about the likes of myself, if he's talking about the likes of Jesse on Fire, MMA Guru, these people that are pushing back against the narrative, if he's talking about you, he doesn't care about you. That's fine. How about you go through the comment sections in some of these videos? I'm a tiny little dude. I've only got a couple of thousand people watching, but in my last video covering you, I believe there was 1,000 comments. How about you go have a look at that? And just check the ratio and see where you are in terms of popularity and your opinion's popularity. Go check out MMA Guru and Jesse on Fire, who are tipping on 100,000 subscribers for each of them, and see what their audience has to say about you. How about you look outside the Twitter bubble at the real world and see that not everybody loves your politics, bro. Just because there was an election and your guy got the nod, that doesn't mean that we are all in agreement. Trust me, you're on the wrong side of this, bro.
I don't care about anything you say. I don't care about your opinions on anything. I don't care about content you make. I don't care what you have. Like, they use my content. I'm not going to put down copyright strikes on them. I don't give a fuck.
Cool. So they're using my content, which I believe alludes to me because I don't see anyone else using the content. So he's not going to come after me in terms of copyright. Okay, cool, fair enough. He's open to some discourse. How about you answer some of the questions that Jesse on Fire and myself put forward last week? Are you going to address any of the questions we put forward to you? Is Sound of Freedom a QAnon film? Do you not agree with the idea of enlightening more people to child trafficking? Should we not be stopping that? What about the sickness that has taken over the world in the last 3 years that we're not even allowed to say the actual name of on YouTube because we will get demonetized and shut down? That seems logical and fair, right? What about that subject? You were banging on about it, and I highlighted it in my video. Where do you stand on that now? Are you going to address any of the questions that we put forward? You were adamant in your opinions. There was no wavering in it. Where are you now in that situation? I want to know, are you going to answer it? No. You're going to continue to seed and cope. Okay.
Bare minimum of investigation into what, he's not alone. There's other ones like him, but a bare minimum of investigation into them. These are people, they are loud for the sake of being loud. They are not interesting. They're not bright. They're not well read. There's nothing interesting about them. Why the fuck would I care?
What we're witnessing here is narcissism, right? These people are loud, they're uninteresting, they're not well read. I'm well read, I'm interesting, I'm not loud, I appeal to the masses. That's what he's saying here, right? He's got 175,000 supporters here on YouTube. I guess he's above where he thinks he is, but everyone else that has an opinion, a critical one, is uninteresting and not well read. If you were having a conversation with a person in general, if you were in a bar, in a restaurant, if you were watching a football game and the person next to you spoke like this, you would leave immediately and be like, holy shit, this guy is so self-centered and narcissistic. It's insane. So your opinions are interesting and well read, but everyone else's that disagree with you are not? Okay, we're on it now.
Dude, say what the fuck you want to say. I don't give a shit. I don't care at all. You never see me bring them up. I don't give a shit. And this will get used too. Like, oh, you care, you're doing this thing. I care enough to answer this question. Okay. And then I don't want to talk about it anymore because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about any of you guys. Zip. That you can't even use you don't even use your names. You give you guys, there's chat board screen names. What are you, fucking 40? Like, what are you doing? Okay. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about your channels. I don't give a fuck about your opinions. They're profoundly stupid and not worth my time.
So he says that he doesn't care. This is the last time he's going to talk about it. This is the only time he's going to address the situation. And for me, I could be wrong, but it stinks of a guy who's burning up inside that someone like myself who has got like 4,000 subscribers made a video, called out your bullshit, called out your authoritarianism that you were trying to put the boot down on all your viewers' neck. What did you think you were doing when you were screaming and ranting about people needing to wear masks and inject themselves? What did you think you were going to achieve by that? You thought that that was a well-read opinion? You thought that that was an interesting opinion, that that wasn't a stupid one? Get real.
Here's how you know I have underachieved. Look at the level of my antagonist. Just the most pathetic version you've ever seen.
So by virtue of the fact that you're calling people who disagree with you your antagonist, that would make you the protagonist of your own narrative, right? So again, this brings us back to the narcissism. The world isn't centered around you and your opinions. You know, that's the trouble here. There's no discourse with people like you. You are a journalist. You have a big audience. You're a big name in the MMA arena, right? So surely we can question your opinions without you calling us stupid, without you calling us ignorant. And it gets worse. It gets worse than that. Let's listen.
That is the person that thinks that like we're peers enough to have these like what the fuck?
Who thinks that you're a peer? Nobody thinks that. Where are you getting that? That's so disgusting for you to be like, you're not my peer. I'm above you. You're below me. You piece of shit. You are below me. This is across the board the ideology of these type of people. What do I mean by these type of people? I mean the people that are on Twitter, that are on Facebook, that are on social media, demanding that you wear a mask walking into a supermarket, demanding that you take a knee for BLM, demanding that you stop driving a diesel car to save the world. These people are so self-righteous and in their own bubbles. It's insane. And he thinks that he's the clever one. You're the idiot, he's the clever one.
Like nothing is like the saddest shit. The biggest critique you could make of my career is that these kinds of people are the people who think that they're my antagonist. Like, oh my fucking God. Do you know what like an underachiever you have to be for that to be the situation? Like, you just got to be kidding me, bro. You just got to be kidding me. I cannot believe these fucking mongrels think that we are peers. Like, oh my.
You're a fucking mongrel and you are not my peer. Nobody ever said that they were a peer of yours, you fuckwit. People asked you to answer for what you had said, which was completely and utterly incorrect. Nobody said that they were a peer of yours. You're a journalist. This is your job. Are you exempt from answering questions? So it's your opinion and nothing else?
I encourage anyone in my audience to please go hear what they have to say. And this gentleman and some other ones as well. And if in the end, like that content is better for you, I encourage you to go.
Well, this is an interesting proposition that he's putting forward to his viewers here. The majority of people that would click subscribe on a person like this are of a certain mindset, right? They're the bobbleheads, they're the automatons, they're the people that walk around on the phones, they post pictures of their injection on social media saying this is my 6th one. And here's my 15th mask today. These are the type of people that subscribe to him. So does he really expect his viewers? He must be aware, he must be self-aware enough to know that that's who's following him, right? People with pink hair and pronouns in their bio. He has to know that they're the type of people that follow him, not legit MMA fans. He has to know that it's the NPC losers that are following him. Does he think that these mentally ill people are going to jump over to Jesse on Fire's channel, or myself, or Guru, or anyone that pushes back slightly on his narrative and be like, oh my god, we're switching teams? He knows what he's asking for. He knows that these people are heavily medicated, mentally ill people that actually bow at the feet of liberal democracy. He knows that they're not going looking for a critical opinion anywhere.
Like the kind of audience that I want would, like, they're not interested in antagonists of this level. Oh my god, dude, how it's so fucking embarrassing that I have to be like, these are the people coming after you. Oh my god, dude. People that look like they've been tasered on the side of the highway in North Florida. Another one who looks like a skin tag that someone fucking super glued pubic hair to. I mean, we are just talking about fucking garbage pail kids coming after you with loud opinions, utterly centered on nothing.
Utterly centered on nothing, loud opinions, pubic hair stuck to the face, being tasered in North Florida. I guess he's going after Florida because it's a red state, because of DeSantis. I've already outlined the opinions that were put to him in my video, Jesse on Fire's video. He didn't answer any of them. He deflected every single question. He was actually acting like a teenager who had his feelings hurt. Dude, you're supposed to be a journalist. You're supposed to be a man. You talk about us being kids. You talk about us being childish, idiots, embarrassing. You can't even answer one single critique that was aimed at you last week. Not one. All you did is cry, whinge, and moan in this video.
Like, what do I think about it? I don't.
But you do. But you do. And it's hurting and it's tearing you up inside and you're terrified. And your take is that these are the people that are coming at me? Well, who else is going to come at you? You got called out for the bullshit that you were peddling to your bullshit audience. You got called out and you didn't have the balls to even answer a single question. All you did is cry, bitch, and call names. And that's it. You're a bitch.